G'day fishos, welcome back. Port Stephens Fishing Report time. It's a Friday, big week for me. I tell you, I've been around the world this week. Interesting Shimano meeting yesterday in Sydney. Some cool stuff coming in 2026, so excited about that. Can't show anything now, but definitely in 2026. So always good to look at new gear, that is for sure, especially for the next coming year. So good times ahead in the fishing industry, that is for sure. But enough about that. That's work for me. So what's happening at the moment? Well, let's look at the weather. The weatherman last weekend, I tell you what, all over the shop. It was supposed to be a nor'easter. It was a westerly. It was supposed to be a nor'easter. It was a southerly. Who can predict it these days? But looking at the weather, I looked at Seabreeze this morning. There's another one I look at called Windy. As far as BOM is concerned, well, I don't even look at that anymore, especially their new website. But it looks pretty good. We've got the southerly today being Friday, which is not a bad thing, actually. It usually pushes a little bit of warm water in. And then into Saturday, it's still that south-southeast, not as strong, but Sunday definitely looks like a glamour day. I think Sunday will be your offshore day. Saturday, if you want to take the whole weekend fishing, well, Saturday will be your estuary day. And then Sunday will be your offshore day. So let's talk about the estuary. I tell you what, I'm addicted to big flatties this year. It has been absolutely a cracker. I spoke to Paul Lennon from Fishport Stephens Estuary Charters during the week, and he's getting some good ones for his clients, no doubt about it. But we're trying to put a finger on the pulse. Why are the big flatties there this year in good numbers? I mean, you still got to work for them. They're still a big fish, and they don't get big for no reason, that's for sure. So you got to put the time and effort in. If you get one or two bites out of big ones a day, you're doing pretty well. But it's very rewarding to catch those big fish. Now, talking to him, is it the slot limit that New South Wales Fisheries introduced? I think that's got a lot to do with it, but also think that also the weather we had during winter with those flooding rains definitely sort of got something happening in the estuary. I mean, every year, those big fish, it is a breeding cycle during those sort of spring months, warmer months. But I do think that slot limit is the key to it. That is for sure. It's got to help. If we're releasing those fish over 70 centimetres, it's definitely got to help. It's good to see a lot of anglers doing the right thing, but unfortunately there are a couple that buck the trend, and it's disconcerting, unfortunately. We want the fishery there for everybody, so just obey the laws. But anyway, we won't talk about that, but it's good to see big flatties in the bay. I'll put a photo up later today of another one that I caught on a hard body. I'm addicted to hard body lures this year rather than soft plastics, but it's great fun throwing hard bodies in those shallow flats at the moment. So really good fun. So talking of flatties, again, spoke to Paul, putting his clients onto some really nice flatties up in the shallows. We are on the new moon cycle now, which means the bigger tides, 1.8 on that high. I'm not a fan of the tides, but those bigger tides, but I think if you persist and fish that run out off the flats there, I think you'll do pretty well. So just work those flats areas and you'll do pretty well. A lot of my bigger fish this year have been coming off structure, old oyster racks, old oyster piles, all that kind of stuff works really well. You'll be surprised. You'll find one little lonely pole on a flat from an old oyster rack, and there she'll be. So it's structure that's the key, and a little bit of current flow as well. So some big lizards around. The lower Tilligary into Taylor's Beach fishing better than the upper Tilligary. Mud Island, all through those flats has been pretty good, actually. It's only just starting to fire. Normally it's an early season spot. It's only just starting to fire. I know some good fish around the flats at Tanelva Bay area as well. Moving over towards the Karua system. Karua system's been holding some nice fish. Further up the river, your smaller fish are up the river at the moment. There are some bigger fish on the flats, those 70s, but lots of sort of, I guess, those eating fish, 40s, 50s, 60s, up the river of Karua at the moment. So definitely worth a fish up there. Fishing plastics and hard bodies. The water's pretty clear up there at the moment, so it's been going pretty well there. Some dewies around the bridge as well. Smaller models, but there are some bigger ones sniffing around there if you want to do that type of thing. Further down the bay, speaking of flatties, that Corlette area, through the groins. If you don't know where the groin is, come and see me. It's an old spot I used to fish when I was a kid. I think I caught my first big flatty on a soft tail there when I was about 13. one that I got from the US. So there you go, long time ago now, showing my age. So the groins, through Baggies, Dutchies, all that area, even Nelson Bay Beach, if you get up early. Sun's up, I think, at about 5. You've missed the bite if you're up at 5. But get up early and do that. And then down at Shoaley, a few fish turning up, a few flatties turning up. Opposite the caravan park, down to the wharf, again, early morning spot. And then obviously the eastern end of Shoal Bay through the old hospital grounds through there at the moment. So duskies all the way through the system, you could say. But get out there early and fish that running up tide, that is for sure. Some good brim around at the moment. I saw Pete been getting back out there throwing surface lures around. I think I read his post, I think a 39 and a 42 centimetre on the surface. So they're really good fish on surface lures. So worth doing that this weekend, especially if we get into Sunday when the wind switches around to the north there. It definitely aids things on the surface lures and surface whiting. Actually turning up hopefully today, if not Monday, we'll have a great little surface lure that is an absolute beauty. It comes out of Jackson. It's called the EB Panic, and I've been waiting for these for months. They've turned up at the right time. If you want a killer whiting surface lure, the EB Panic by Jackson will turn up hopefully today, being Friday. If not, I'll throw them on our socials if they do turn up. But a cracking whiting lure, and you've got to get in and see these little guys as well. So whiting on the flats, worth a shot now. It is definitely full swing. The water's about 22 degrees. Some areas 23. Perfect for whiting on surface. If you don't want to target them on surface lures, get some live yabbies, some worms, fish the incoming tide, light leaders, fish the shallows, and you should score a few nice whiting at the moment. Couple turning up on Shoal Bay Beach, but more of that back end of the bay for your bigger sandies at the moment, for sure. Crabs, plenty of blue swimmers around. Get the traps in, plenty of blue swimmers. Areas such as the Tilligary, the start of the Karoo River, and up North Arm Cove, fishing well for crabs at the moment. That's the bay this week. There's been some good fish around at the moment. Moving on to the beaches and rocks. Southerly right now, it'll stir things up on the rocks with that southerly, so the swell will push in, get a bit of wash going. Still time for drummer. I spoke to Pete again. He's killing the drummer at this time of year because the water isn't at its warmest. It's still a bit chilly at 19 degrees. With that swell popping up, it'll definitely be worth a fish off the rocks for a few drummer and brim. I reckon it'd be worth to go for a snapper, that is for sure, because with that swell bumping up, the new moon, I think it'd be definitely worth to go for a snapper off the rocks this weekend, whether you're casting baits or plastics. Down to the south there off Boat Harbour fishes really well after a little bit of a southerly blow. So spinning off the rocks at the moment, it's mainly tailor and salmon. Southern end of Boxy, salmon and tailor at the moment. Fingal Headland, again, salmon and tailor. Haven't heard of any bonito. Won't be too far away on the bonito scene, that's for sure. On the beaches now, the beaches fishing really well. We've got some good tides. It'll be worth a mulloway fish this weekend for sure. And there have been some good mulloway around on the beaches. I think November into mid-December is the time to go and chase mulloway on the beaches. You can chase them all year round. There's something at this time of year where the beaches fire on mulloway. If you're a bait fisherman, you can go and fish baits after dark, but a few guys definitely throwing big soft plastic off the beaches, doing pretty well at the moment. So, and we've got all armour of big soft plastics at the moment for that kind of thing. Especially check out the Panic Stations mullet. We can't keep enough of those things in stock for dewies. Believe it or not, good barrel lure, but a good crossover for dew. So worth a shot for a dewie off the beach. A couple of whiting around. I wouldn't say that you're going to bag out at the moment, but if you're fishing the incoming tide, light, fish early, I think you'll go all right on whiting. There's still brim around as well on the beaches. Access into Samurai, you can get into Samurai now. It might be worth a fish down there come Sunday with northerly winds and that southerly backing off. Barooby should fish pretty well on Sunday as well. So give that a crack this week. Now, on the offshore, there have been some good kings around. I think with this southerly, it'll push some better water in, and it'll be worth a fish for kings on this new moon. It is a time of year where you see big kings in a bit of a breeding cycle. So most anglers choose to let them go, which is a good thing because they are the bigger models. Stick baiting, live baiting will be a key for sure. Any of those headlands, get a bit of tidal flow or current pushing onto those headlands and islands, and you should do pretty well. On kings, new moon, snapper, definitely worth a go in the shallows for snapper. Be getting up to the north there, Seal Rocks, Edith, all those areas as well. Don't discount Broughton around the shallows, North Rock, West Island, and the sisters there. Cod Rock, always a good one as well. And then during the day, you can fish a bit further out. The Reese boys got out, the Pavement boys, Reese and Dean, I should say. The Pavement boys got out and did some jeep dropping. I saw some cracking pearlies and some big barries there, so some nice fish out wider. The current looks pretty good. We'll talk about that in a second. Further in, in that 21, the V, down to Uralla, Tank Mark, all that, be worth a go, I think. Couple of trags still about, and a few panty reds as well, so worth a shot on there. Now, people keep asking about the fad. Well, look, to be honest with you, you've got to go and have a crack and have a look. With this Sudley, it could push a bit of better water in because there is some water on the edge of the shelf that looks pretty good. So definitely worth a look at the fad. I'd take some live baits with you and soak those around. Not guaranteeing you're going to get a dolphin fish, but it's worth a go at the moment. Now, the shelf, the striped marlin, but I tell you what, me talking about striped marlin this time of year and numbers is just blows me away. My boat will be ready in about 4 weeks. Bring it on. Greg went out last Sunday. I think he went 4 from 5 skip baiting on striped marlin. Zenon did the same. I think he caught 3 skip baiting. So it is worth a shot looking at it. That 32.50 to 32.58 looks like the better area to fish at the moment. So if you're keen on doing that, it will be worth running the fuel and getting out there and having a crack at some striped marlin at the moment. Before that current picks up, fingers crossed it doesn't pick up, but Murphy's Law says that the current will push down eventually, but it will bring black marlin and blue marlin down with it. I spoke to my good mate Scotty, fishing out of the Central Coast, that Nora Head area. He had a bite, or caught a striped marlin, had a bite out of a blue marlin. So that's pretty cool to hear at this stage of the game. So I know there's been some yellowfin out wider, so it'd be worth a shot there, but you'd have to run pretty wide to find those yellowfin. Anyway, that's the fishing report this week. I'm losing my voice from the fishing report this week, which is a good thing. Now, don't forget, Black Friday, everyone's doing it. Yeah, they are. There's a fly. And mentioned Black Friday. So the sales are on. We've got 20% off store-wide. We've got some pretty cool giveaways. As I mentioned in a post yesterday, we're giving away a charter with Fishport Stephens Estuary Charters. All you need to do is spend $20 in store. You're in the draw straight away. So we're going to run that till the 1st of December. So that's a pretty cool trip that we'll be running there. So one lucky angler will win that trip away. Plus, we're giving away a rod and reel with it as well. We've got more giveaways in store as well. We're going to have sales all week, all the way through Black Friday. Keep an eye on our socials this week. That's it. Enjoy your weekend. Get out fishing.